Hello. I'm trying to describe the National Hippie Gathering, the Rainbow. Now, I'm just going to go on ahead and look online because I was having a really hard time giving an easy definition of what that is. So, a rainbow gathering is a temporary, loosely knit community of people who will congregate, usually in remote forests around the world, for one or more weeks at a time with the uh, stated intention of living a shared ideology of peace, harmony, freedom, and respect. So, communism, literally. Um, I'm not trying to hate anybody, I swear. I don't mean to say it with any bit of, angst or anything. But basically, some people would say it's a cult, but I wouldn't go that far because they didn't try to make me join their stuff. They just kind of talked like, hey, you could come back to our real commune if you would like, but it wasn't like a pushed thing. But according to Tribal Union, it's a website on here. The Rainbow Gathering is not your typical Psytrance event. Rainbow Gathering, as the name suggests, is a utopian inspired gathering of international people who share the same ideals. So, rainbow gatherers, like I said, they meet somewhere around the globe every year, usually in a remote forest or other place, to escape from modern society, capitalism, and materialism in an atmosphere of pure unity and peace, which it was very, very peaceful. I will give them that. It was a great event. It was very fun, and I would like to do it again one day, but not in the same way. It was kind of absurd in action. But basically, it's places where people sing, dance, cook, share experiences, attend workshops if you so chose, and a lot more. All in the spirit of one giant family idea. And I mean, I would say pretty much everybody was a family. There was a mutual love, there was an understanding, unless you were being a sick piece of crap and then you were taken out of there. You don't want to know about all that. I don't want to know about all that. I don't even know what they did to everybody. I don't know if they beat them up or kicked them out or walked them off or what. But it's all good because I wasn't in that group. But now, like I was trying to say, the Rainbow Gathering was divided in various camps. They had their several kitchens that would converge at Main Circle, which was like literally a big circle in the middle of a field where everybody gathered around 6:30 in the afternoon. You didn't really know what time it was, to be fair. So it was like basically when the sun was starting to go down, you went out to Main Circle, meet up with everybody. You wanted to be with your family, you wanted to commune, you wanted to eat and everything, because obviously you didn't eat on your own, unless you brought in food, which people did. But I was unfortunate not to bring nothing but a camel bag, which I lost in the gathering because I laid it down on the first day. It was excellent. But everybody was cool. I don't think there was much of a problem with, people taking stuff, aside from if you left it, because it's a ground score if you leave it somewhere. But we'd gather around, bunch of thirsty hippies running through the hills and the woods, screaming at each other, trying to get hits of acid, trying to find something to smoke, and you had your Mr. Mad Dabber running around. I think I mentioned that. But it was like they said in the description on this website here. It was in the same spirit of good energy and freedom and unity and letting people live as people live, which is really, really, really cool. But now I'm going to talk about a little bit of what happened with me and why I didn't stay out there for the whole time. So, dude I went with, he was cool. He was a little older. He talked about, that he's been a million times and he was trying to take somebody else. So I was there hanging out. We had that tent set up. It was really, really cool. I believe we left that tent set up, as far as I know. But we had it sitting up in the woods and everything, and we kept our stuff clean. Had to bury your own poop like a bear, but hey, that's what you have to do when you're like that. But we hung out. We did a lot of fun things. Smoked a lot of weed. Smoked a lot of dabs. I didn't do any drugs. Well, liar. I didn't do any dope while I was out there at the gathering, because that was like frowned upon, obviously. You were smoking the weed or dropping the acid. That was the things you were doing. Maybe taking an ecstasy or whatever, but you know what I mean. There were drugs, but there weren't like dope drugs, which was great because I was kind of sort of trying to get away from that at that time because I had been addicted for a long time. I think that was me trying to get sober, but then I fell back after I left the gathering. But anyway, smoked a lot, did a lot of acid hits. I mean, a lot. I'm talking like maybe a handful of things at a time, like 5, 6 hits at once, maybe 10, maybe, I can't remember the exact amount. I might have in my past embellished it and said like 30 hits at once, but no way. But I had a lot, way more than you needed. Sometimes they were compressed, sometimes they were regular. You never really knew. You just asked for it. Give me some! That's pretty much it. And sorry, I'm trying to stay as relevant to the story while still filling in the information about what the gathering was. And like as far as my experience goes, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of walking. It was going between camps, and dude, this was a massive state park that we were in Oregon. But basically, state law there said smoking was cool, but we were on federal property. So even smoking bud was not good at the hippie gathering if you got caught. But now we had ways of taking care of that. If you saw a law enforcement walking through the area, you scream out to your friends a message. You would be like, 6 up! And they'd scream back. If they were not working for them pigs. But as long as they weren't working for them, they would call out. And that was the thing you did. You saw one, you screamed out 6 up. Let somebody know, let it echo off the trees. Anybody in a close by vicinity is gonna 6 up right back to let you know they heard it. But now I don't even do that stuff anymore. Like nowadays, if I see law enforcement, I'm just keeping my mouth shut, moving along my way. I'm just not trying to have a confrontation. But back then we were crazy, screaming at them, being ridiculous, being all anarchists, basically. But it was a lot. It was a really cool environment. Met a lot of amazing characters. Met a couple of really unsavory ones, but that's fine. I mean, geez, like I don't want to even talk about the dude that was in a wheelchair that we picked up in freaking after the gathering in that place. Ooh, hoo, hoo. I don't even want to talk about that guy. He was a sicko. But anyway, I think I'm going to go on ahead and wrap up this part 1 here. And the next part, I'm going to talk more about my experience when I was actually homeless after I stopped riding with this guy that I'm talking about. But anyway, D-Jack out. Thanks for watching the channel, and I hope that made any bit of sense. I was going to write it all out, but I found myself writing in circles just as much as I was talking in circles, so it's hopeless. But that's it. Best of my ability. First part of the story, and if I did badly, I apologize. And somebody who might know my story and heard some things that were off, I tried to be as honest and clear as I possibly could. I've embellished that story a number of times, so I try very hard not to embellish it because that makes it all seem false. But If you've had an experience like that where it was all drug fueled and you have a hard time remembering, you know exactly what I mean. But anyway, that's the story, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.